today's video is some really cute, quick ideas that you can use for small, like last minute grabs for people that are sure to sell.
First up, we have these little molds. I always grab these no matter what shape they are because they just sell. They're so easy to flip and to make other things with. So I originally took out a little bit of Eden and I didn't have enough left and I didn't want to open a new one. So I went and grabbed some Monet's Garden and did a coat on these. And then I realized, you know what? I want a little texture. So I went in, grabbed my salt wash, and I poured some of my Monet's Garden into that little container that's empty, that has no more Eden left in it. And you guys, originally I was going to leave the little centers open, and it was just too hard once I started painting them that I ended up painting over them. So you'll see that. But I do end up grabbing that Monet's Garden by DIY, and I mix it in with some salt wash just to give it a thicker texture. I really want to have more texture on these. I'm making ornaments with these. So usually every year we pick an ornament or two that we make a ton of. And I gotta go dig through my stash and see how many more of these I have. But so far I am loving these. And I don't really have a measurement for you guys, probably about half and half, 1-to-1 ratio of paint versus salt wash for this. And then at the same time, I am going to mix some into my black. I don't think this is Little Black Dress. I think this is, oh heck, if I can remember. But I'm doing a project with that in a minute. I will link all the paint colors below, so make sure you guys check that out for the colors. And then we are going to just go in and stipple on coat number 2 on all of these. And I get absolutely beautifully amazing coverage once we get that done. You guys, this is such a good way to add texture to your projects that is a no fail. And it also really helps that paint to stick to something that might not be a surface it would normally stick to. So on these metal little like jello molds, I guess is what they are, it just really adhered well, you guys. The final look of these is fabulous. I can't wait to get these hung up. So while I am doing this part, let me go ahead and introduce myself. My name is Sandra, and I am the owner and creator here at Midwest Charm. I specialize in repurposed, upcycled vintage home decor, as well as all of your crafty needs. We carry DIY paint, Sweet Pickins Milk Paint, Iron Orchid Designs, Connie Lines and Designs, Roy Cycled Treasures, and more, lots more. You can find us in our storefront in Hinckley, Minnesota, which is in the description below, as well as on our website, www.midwestcharm.co, no M. And all of the items I am using for today's haul is, or not haul, for video, is in the description. And I am going to be trying to get some of these finished projects listed as well so that you guys also have the option to purchase those. Let's get back into this. So this shot here gives you a really good idea of the great coverage that I got versus that just the paint. And with that salt wash, you guys, it is amazing. And the texture up close is gorgeous. And I do have a single shot here in a second of the close up. These are great. And if you can't tell by now, I am making wreaths out of these. So the little jello molds that are just kind of rounded, I usually make pumpkins out of those. And then these ones, we're doing wreaths. Look at that texture. Oh, I'm in love. So then I took out my carnival red because these need some holly berries, of course. And then just using the end of one of my artist brushes, I am just dipping it into the paint and then putting them in little bundles of 3 randomly around these little molds. Then we are going to end up going back in and sealing these up with some Big Top. I just want a little bit of sheen to them. I will probably go over these with a little bit of wax, most likely white wax, I'm kind of thinking, I keep thinking and going back and forth because I haven't waxed them yet. Do I want to do white to make it look like snow, or do I want to do dark to make it look aged and old? You guys post below, let me know which one you think would look better. And then I'm also using some gorgeous red velvet ribbon that I picked up at Michael's for the hangers on these. And I am just hot gluing that into the back of the little ornaments. And as always, you guys, hang out to the very end to see my final projects. These all three turned out so good. I can't wait to share them with you guys. And I'm telling you, these little items like this sell so well for me. You put a bunch of these in a basket or on a tree, and people will just scoop them up. They are amazing. And you guys, if you don't like the berries on these, you don't have to put them on. This is just an option. You could tie a little bow and glue that on there. There's so many things that you could do to embellish these. And here is a quick picture before I put the ribbons on them. And for project number two, this is just a really quick, simple one, you guys. I just took this little silver plated, this is actually, I believe, a sugar dish, and it does not have one of the handles. And I wanted to paint this. Thank you, Sylvia from Backyard Brushes, for giving me the inspiration. Um, we were on the phone one day and she's like, oh my gosh, you should totally do that with this. So that's what I did. I wanted texture to help hide the fact that there was some marks from the other handle breaking off. And I am just going in with, oh gosh, I cannot remember the color of this DIY paint. I always forget it. So I will make sure it's linked below, you guys. It's beautiful. We are going to put just one coat is all this needed. I did not need to do any extra. I am not painting the handle, the finial on the top of the lid, or the feet. I am leaving those all the tarnished silver color. And then we are going to set this aside to dry and go in with a coat of Big Top to seal this up before we do any embellishing. So this is actually black velvet. I went and looked it up, you guys. I don't know why I can never remember that, but it's just a little bit of a softer black than the little black dress. And this is beautiful. You guys can see I'm getting the great coverage. Super easy to work with. And again, I'm pouncing it to give it texture to hide the fact that that one handle is broken. And we're just going to use this for a little shelf sitter. I'm going to put most likely greenery in this. I foresee a bottle brush tree for Christmas in this, and it's going to be perfection. I cannot wait. And then the same with the lid. We're just going to go in and give this one good coat of the black velvet with the salt wash in it. And then we're going to set this aside to dry, and we're going to make sure that it's really dry before we apply that top coat. Just a quick little shot of this all painted up while it is drying and after it's dry. You guys, I'm going to go in and take out the new, I don't even remember what this one is called, but it's the new Christmas one that has the gold and the silver. And I'm going to take out two little silver pieces and put one on each side. And these are very easy to apply. You just got to take your time with these, and you can kind of see it popping off onto your piece as you're rubbing over it. I try to use a flat edge and not a corner. When you rub with the corner, you can rub off some of the silver or gold from the center of the piece, and we don't want to do that. So I'm usually pretty careful. Once these are applied, we're going to go over it with another coat of Big Top, and this is ready. Project number 3 might be my favorite today. I have had this bundle of spoons for a while, and as you can see, they're pretty new. And I don't know, I like them old. So let's go ahead and put on a coat of Dark and Decrepit. This is a liquid patina by DIY. That is a very safe stain that you can use. It does have a sealing coat in it as well, so it's going to also help to seal up this wood so it doesn't just absorb all of the paint that we're going to apply to these. So I'm going to go in and put a coat of this on each one of these spoons. So this is going to get repetitive, and I apologize. I tried to remove as much of it as I could without getting too repetitive on you guys. But we're going to go in and make sure that these are all covered up. And I'm using that blue towel because I will leave my fingerprints in this if I don't. So I do go in, I paint this on, and then I just go back and I wipe it completely off with the blue shop towels. And it is perfection. And at some point here, I realized that I did not do any of the ends. And I do go back in and get the ends of these all finished up as well. And you can do multiple layers of this if you want to have it darker, or don't leave it on as long if you want it lighter. So I wiped back each one as I was doing them, and it gave me the look I was looking for. They also, DIY also has the old in gray, which gives it more of a barnwood look. I love that one as well. I use both of these on a regular basis. It's safe to use inside. There's no smell. It is my favorite go-to when I want to age something. So, um, easy to wash up. It's all water-based. It's perfect. And like I said, I just used the shop towels to hold on them. And here you can see me realizing I need to do these ends. So they all get done. And then we're going to set these aside and make sure that they are really dry before we go to our next step. And for the next step, I do use the Cottage Color Americana. I decided to use the all-in-one paint so that I didn't have to add in some sealing coats and less wait time. And this takes about, I'm going to say 2 coats, but really I probably could have left it at one. And then you do have the option when you get to this point on whether or not you want to just stress them. You can always leave them without the paint. This was just a really fun, cute, quick flip. And I do sell these every year. One year we did all snowflakes. It was adorable. So here is our Americana. You guys, this needs to have a really good stir before you use it to make sure that you're incorporating all of that top coat in with your paint color. And as you can see, because we used the Dark and Decrepit, it's sealed up, so this paint is going on beautifully. I get amazing coverage. And when I say 1.5 coats, I really, for the second coat, only did the scoop part on each part of these spoons. And on that flat one, I just did the part that would be considered the upside. I don't know if that makes sense. But that would be where my half coat came in, as I just did that side one extra time. You guys, if you haven't used the Cottage colors, grab some. The colors are so beautiful and timeless. And it's already got that top coat built into it, so there's no extra steps you need to take. Literally just paint these and go. I just did this freehand. A lot of times you'll see when I do these, I do take out the tape and I tape around the edge, and I just decided I didn't need to do that this time. It's really easy if you load up the paint on your brush. I have an angle brush for this, and just swirl the spoon as you go around, and it leaves just a really nice straight line. And then we are going to do the same thing for every one of these, just right below where the spoon evens out into the handle is where I started my color at. And you could do this at any point. You could color the whole, paint the whole thing. You could paint just the little, the bowl part of the spoon. This has got so many options you could do, so many ways you could make these and embellish them. I had so much fun with these. I think they turned out so cute. I can't wait for you to see them all styled up. I'm not gonna lie, they're my favorite today. So we have them all done with that first coat. I'm not a perfectionist, and but I did get some on the handle here. And the very easy fix to this is I just took out my little finger sander. It has 220 grit sandpaper on it, and I just sanded that part off, and this part that went down just a little bit, just a quick sand. I did not bother to restain it or anything. I just left it as is and then went ahead and put that second coat onto the bowl part of all of these spoons. I just really wanted to have good color there, and I could have left it. I don't know why I ended up going in because I really did get great coverage, but I did on all of these go in and give it that second coat. So I'm taking out my Iron Orchid Designs Partridge Lane transfer, and I decided to cut out all of the little ornaments that were in there. There are so many cute pieces in this transfer. I was going to do houses on them, but these weren't quite as big as I was hoping they would be, so those are going to have to wait for another project. So I just went in with the ornaments, lined them all up on how they fit the best because there was a couple ornaments that were a little bit bigger than the others. And I wanted to make sure that I did end up with a variety of these and not all of the green or all of the red ornaments. So here I am just doing a test little run on how I want these on there. And my camera was wiggling. I apologize. I should have cut that out. And then once I get these all lined up, I'm going to just start applying them because these have the all-in-one paint. I do not need to seal these up before applying them. In fact, this paint makes it so easy to use the transfers. They apply so smoothly to it. So we're just going to go in and rub these on, peel off that top layer, and then I alternate burnishing them in either with that top layer of vellum or my fingers, just to make sure there are no bubbles in there and that everything is adhered firmly to my little spoons. And then I'm just going to repeat that same process with each one of these, adding in the little ornaments to the bowl of the spoons. And already these are so stinking cute. Again, you can embellish these however you choose. You can leave them like this. You can paint the whole thing. You can add glitter. You can do whatever you want. I went a very simple route once I got this part all done, but I absolutely adore how they turned out. As always, you guys, make sure you hang out to the very end so that you can see all three of these projects styled up and ready to go. I am very excited to share these. I love how all of them turned out, and I can't wait to get moving on the rest of my stash to add to my stock of these. Let me know below which items you guys are working on for your shows or for your booths that are quick grabs, quick sellers that are small and sell really well for you. I'm excited to hear what everyone does. So we are just getting these finished up. I do go in and put on a coat of, I can't remember if I did Big Top or if I did liquid patina. I'm just thinking, you guys. But I do go in and put a top coat on these because those transfers do need to be sealed up. Now these are just for decor, so it's not a huge deal because these are not to be used. They're just for prettiness. Um, but I wanted to seal them up anyways, just in case somebody wanted to wipe them off. Here they are, as is, in a little white pitcher. But I took it one step further, y'all. Wait until you see these styled up here at the end.
What did you think of my cute little quick ideas for last second grabbing for people who are shopping your booth space or your space at a show? These are sure to sell really fast. I love making them, similar things every year. We always have an ornament or two that we specialize in and make a ton of for that year. I can't wait to get these hung up and just to, oh, you guys, I'm so excited. So let me know below if what you're making for your little tiny grabs. These things pay the bills, you guys. I know it seems ridiculous to make a wooden spoon, charge $2.95 or whatever you're charging for it, but they add up. And if somebody's grabbing 4 of them and a greenery, you guys, they add up. They are perfect for this time of year, and I can't wait to get mine out. Thanks for watching. You guys make sure to hit that subscribe button if you haven't already, and I'll see you guys all next time. Bye.